Hey folks, it's Patriot Nurse. I want to give you guys an update. We've had some interesting information come to light here for the state of Tennessee. And if you're not part of the Tennessee Firearms Association, I really recommend that you do that. They are the only non-compromise firearms support and Second Amendment association in Tennessee as far as legislative action and legislative advocacy. So I'm a lifelong member and I encourage you to do the same. But the bulletin that I got this morning was pretty disheartening, although I can't say it is surprising. And essentially, Bill Lee, our governor, is conspiring with Democrats, secondary to the school shooting that happened in Nashville recently, is conspiring with Democrats to try and get essentially red flag and worse gun control legislation passed in the state of Tennessee. So as of yesterday, the Tennessean released a report, which was a detailed, this is in the words of the update, a detailed investigative report, which explored some of these sessions and these private meetings that the governor has been having with Democrats and leftist advocacy groups in our state. And so part of the gun control legislation that these different Democrats are sponsoring, including Heidi Campbell and Representative Parkinson, part of the legislation that they're advocating for would definitely include, obviously, red flag laws, enhanced red flag laws, but also it would effectively, at least from the legislation that Heidi Campbell has proposed, it would close private sales between people in the state of Tennessee. So basically, you could not sell a firearm private sale, which is the backbone of freedom, because if the state can control who sells firearms, then the state has an absolute authoritarian grip on people being able to defend themselves from that same state when it goes tyrannical, which eventually they all will. Also, her legislation would seek to ban magazines, standard capacity magazines, restricting the residents of Tennessee to 10 rounds or less. It would also seek to ban assault weapons. So her gun package release is a PDF, and I'll have all these links in the description box below. The special session that Governor Lee is talking about, specifically, they will take up attempted gun control legislation for the state of Tennessee. Ironically enough, there seem to be a group of Republicans that are also on board with this, the so-called Legislative Working Group, including Republican Senators John Stevens, Becky Duncan Massey, East Tennessee, Dawn White, along with Senate Minority Leader Rumesh Akbari. Nothing says a native Tennessean like Rumesh Akbari. These facts, which are likely this is a quote from the Tennessee Firearms Association, these facts, which are likely only the tip of the Titanic's iceberg on the issue of whether Governor Lee is now in his second term making a full court press on the backs of the deceased victims of the Covenant shooting to enact his gun control agenda and that of other gun control advocates. So the package that was released, the Campbell for Mayor, Heidi Campbell, it is a 3-page PDF, which you can see, and it goes into some of the finer points of what she's proposing and what they're trying to advocate for in the gun legislation for the 2023 special session. Extreme risk protection orders that basically families can flag. By the way, like families who are not friendly to you, think about how all this would turn around if you have liberal family members or family members that don't like your stance on being able to defend yourself, that they could file for a protection order to get your firearms taken away, expanded background checks, which effectively, see, they like to couch all their totalitarian moves in really nice language. That's kind of one of their little hallmarks. So expanded background check literally means enhanced government control, meaning less freedom, right? So consolidate firearms into the hands of the political desirables, put it that way. Ban assault weapons, ban bump stocks, enforce guns and trunks law, which would criminalize people having firearms locked in their car, which in many cases now is also people's domiciles because inflation has priced people out of being able to put a roof over their heads. It would also repeal our permitless carry system here. It would create a Class E felony offense for reckless endangerment when a person fails to lock, secure, or otherwise store a firearm and ammunition away from a young child, which they say is less than the age of 13. So they're going to criminalize the way that you conduct yourself in your own home, which is kind of interesting. Third-party disposition affidavit, illegal firearms transfers, 72-hour waiting period, permit to purchase. I mean, this is absolute unhinged socialism that our governor is playing parlay with. I'm not a fan of Bill Lee. I did not vote for him. And unfortunately, friends, people are laboring under the delusion that Tennessee is this like safe state bastion of freedom and like it's super good for gun laws. It's actually not. We're better than some other places, but when you've got a governor like this involved, and his predecessor was every bit as bad, when you got a governor like this involved in pulling some of these stunts, this ain't good. So this is also, by the way, this is one of the casualties of having a lot of people move from leftist states into Nashville, move to these places and infiltrate our towns and our cities, folks. So if it can happen in Tennessee, it can happen with you too in your own states. So if you are in Tennessee, I'm going to put the links here in the description box below for you so you can see what I'm referencing. You should definitely be a Tennessee Firearms Association member. They also, as far as like political advocacy, they donate to pro-2A candidates on the local level, more, if I'm not mistaken, from a purse than the NRA. So, which I'm not a fan of the NRA's actions, definitely over the past several years. So if you want to be part of an association and really keep the most up-to-date news of what's going on in our state, you need to be part of Tennessee Firearms Association. So I'll put a link in the description box below for that, guys. But this is not good news. And we definitely need to be contacting our local state senators and state reps on this one, because this crap can't fly in Tennessee. And I'm not going to comply. I don't care if they passed it with a flying majority. I'm not complying with this stuff. Nobody's taking my magazines. Nobody's going to take my stuff. So stand firm. And why don't we let the governor's office know we don't really appreciate him playing namby-pamby socialist conspiratory games with leftists in our state. So hope that was helpful for you. Wish it was better news, but you ought to know. For now, it's Patriot Nurse sign off. See y'all later. Bye.